A few administrative details. One, wear your badge to all NANOG events, sessions, tutorials, socials, beer and gear, all of it. We'll check them, so please just make sure you have it with you. We have 3 fantastic days of content prepared. You guys have all seen the agenda. Mr. Woolley up here will be speaking to that here in a few more minutes. We have some folks here from our NANOG College Immersion Program. It's notated on their badge, so please reach out and say hi. They are here to learn about this industry from you. And we've granted, I believe, 4 scholarships for new folks to attend NANOG in Denver in June. And this is my favorite part. To our sponsors, you are the lifeblood of this organization. We cannot fulfill our mission without you. We cannot do this without your support. So thank you so much for joining us on this journey. Could I get a round of applause for our sponsors, please? All right, speaking of sponsorship and engagement, let's talk about membership. For those of you that aren't members, you should be, and there's a couple of reasons why. 1, you get discounted registration rates. 2, we do nice things for our members, like free drink tickets and an express registration line at every meeting. We recognize you on the website, and we do headshots. I mean, what a value, right? This is fantastic. And most importantly, you get to vote. So for instance, like when I and Mr. Temkin here term out of the board in October, members have the right to vote in our replacements. So the more engagement we have, the better. So if you aren't a member, please consider joining. We would love to have you. Yesterday, we had a hackathon, which went over fantastically. Thank you so much, Oracle, for sponsoring. And there's a readout on that today at 11:30, I believe, if you're interested. And then finally, to our sponsors again, you guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for what you do for us. We really, really appreciate it. And with that, I will turn it over to Mr. Josh Snowhorn from CyrusOne for a few more words. Thank you.
Hi, guys. This is my favorite part of the meeting when you have to listen to me because I paid for it. So I get to announce it every time. This is a lot of NANOGs for me. My first NANOG, it was in 2001 when Bill Norton actually introduced me, and Dan Golding and Brandon Ross introduced me to a bunch of folks. I met Patrick Gilmore. It was the best moment of my life. But it was very exciting for me, and I've been part of this family for a long time. The reason you see this logo on this shirt, Atlanta Rising, is because, oops, I'm supposed to go back, is because of a fire during the Civil War. Atlanta burned down to the ground. Civil War was pretty awful, you can imagine. So this Phoenix Rising is actually a symbol of that. So if you're wondering why there's a crazy burning bird on your shirt, now you guys know. So there's meaning behind it. Obligatory network diagram. I've done a lot of these. I thought it'd be cool to show the old AT&T logos as well, but a couple of gigs of upstream transit on 7018. Thank you to AT&T for providing transit. Applause? Come on, guys. We all like AT&T. So my first NANOG was Atlanta in 2001. I wasn't one of the 90s boys, but I still think it's been a pretty long time, and it's kind of surreal. I hosted my first one in 2002 in Miami. A lot of you guys got to go to that. I hosted a bunch more, and now it's been over 10% of all NANOGs, so kind of a strange and surreal experience as you go over the years. Atlanta now, as it's risen, has become a city of tolerance and rebirth. No more civil war, no more, injustices or slavery or any of the horror that went along with that. Now you have a pretty amazing, robust, and diverse city. So I think it's great to host a NANOG here, and we've had, this is a third one I've been to here. So, and I think we've maybe had more prior to that. I'm not sure. So CyrusOne is where I get to brag about my company. I joined CyrusOne 6 years ago after spending 12 years or 11 at Terramark and a year at Verizon. When I joined the company, it was under Cincinnati Bell. We IPO'd as a $1 billion company, and now we're an $8 billion company and third largest data center company in the US. We house 9 of the top 10 cloud providers. We built 1.4 million square feet of data center space last year, and I honestly can't keep up with the number of sites we're building, and they're all full. So as fast as we build them, they fill up, and that's all cloud-centric driven. We've got almost 200 of the Fortune 1000 as customers, including oil and gas, financials, automotive manufacturers, and everybody else you can imagine that drives the economy. So very proud of what this company has become in the 6 years that I've been along with it. So I've shown this slide before, but I always like to talk about it, and this is where I get to be on this podium babbling about things. So this is a botnet. Somebody used it to measure traffic around the world and the flow of it, and showing that it's really a 24-hour-a-day business, and that everything we do is not just focused on this room, on the East Coast or the West Coast of the US or anywhere else. It's global as we do and drive everything. So where is the internet going today? It's big wholesale cloud. All the customers that we serve or drive or host are all going into the cloud, and that's great, and that's wonderful, and still happening, and still big hybrid stuff. We're relying on big IXs more and more, and we're relying on those IXs that are now kind of consolidating into just a few hands. So the core of the internet is driving a lot more. We have mobile now traffic scaling, although Dave says Netflix isn't pushing a lot on mobile yet, but I think it's probably going to get there eventually as you get unlimited data traffic and 5G and everything else. So how are we going to interconnect the future users? Going to be hub and spoke or edge, or where is that going to drive that? This is a CyrusOne data center that we built. This was for one cloud customer, and we built it in 6 months, and it's 30 megawatts, and it was full the day we opened it. So just to give you perspective on where things are going from the cloud side. This is just a big, giant monster data center, and all of a sudden, holy crap, we need more land. Wow, I need more fiber, and wow, I've got to build more buildings as fast as we can go, and it's global. So another thing that's happening now is driving out to the edge. There's a mobile container outside that shows some of that. There's a lot of different units being built, non-grid, just grid intertie with no generators and things driving out. And I think you'll start to see thousands of these going out and pushing out and pulling out from carrier hotels and then pulling that back to the cloud. But it's all one big ecosystem driving all of this. So core, edge, we're all driving the internet. It's pretty amazing things that we're doing, and I'm excited about it. I think we're all going to be part of a good future. A little reminder, if you have not registered for GPF 13, it's going to be in Seattle, April 10th through 13th, so please go register. If you're in sales, please do not register. If you're a peering coordinator and responsible for interconnection, please register, and we, the approvers, will approve you and hope you have a good time. And thank you very much.
Thanks, Josh. So I'm Ryan Woolley. I'm the current chair of the NANOG program committee. We have what I think is a fantastic program for you this time. We have 19 presentations, which include general session talks and also some panels. The content is completely peer-reviewed. There's a committee of 20 volunteers appointed by the board who are responsible for reviewing content for appropriateness and accuracy. Nominations are open for the next term, so if this is something that is of interest to you, let me know or talk to one of the other program committee folks and we can talk to you more about what the responsibilities are. The agenda is posted online. It's also in the guidebook app on your phone. There's remote viewing available for most content, including those portions of the presentations that are here in the Ellington and also the Mercer ballrooms. We have 2 that are not, one today and one on Wednesday, but in general, everything should be webcast and archived. You can also find the presentation materials on the agenda on the web. General sessions will be right here in Ellington. Also this time we have beer and gear here. It's been a very popular event in the past, and so to accommodate that growth, we're using a portion of this space for beer and gear, which will hopefully get a little more quiet and a little bit more flexible than it has been in the past. Just outside, you'll find breaks in the espresso bar, and around the corner in the Overlook Ballroom is breakfast and lunches on Monday and Tuesday. The social is down the street, just a short walk down 10th to what I think is a fantastic venue, Park Tavern. That'll be on Tuesday afternoon. Please remember to fill out your program surveys. There'll be an email that you should already have that has links to the surveys. The program committee and also the staff rely heavily on your input to figure out what has worked and what we'd like to include in the program in the future. You also have an opportunity, if you complete a survey, to participate in a daily drawing for an Xbox One X, so some additional incentive for you to fill those out. On Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll additionally have lightning talks. Submissions are currently open. We have a few in the pipeline, but certainly anything that arrives before this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon is up for consideration. These are typically 10-minute segments that are, like I said, not prepared in advance. Microphone guidelines. There's 4 microphones here in the room. If you'd like to ask a question of the presenters after the presentation, just walk up to the mics. Please also state your name and affiliation when you arrive at the mic, and make sure that you are coming with a question and not a statement. Thanks very much to the speakers and also to the program committee for all the hard work on this. And next up is...
Go ahead.
Next up, I'd like to introduce Scott Bradner, ex of Harvard University, who will talk to us about the history of the internet.